Oh, same old song. Okay, I got your messages and I'm gonna go over them right now because oh my god, y'all will not let this legacy thing go. Let it go. How many examples must I give you? Nobody can ruin their legacy when their legacy is already submitted. Okay. And I'm trying, that's why you said give you a prime example. Let me bring y'all up to speed because I keep getting hit with this over and over again about people talking about ruining legacies. Roy Jones had ruined his legacy. Roy Jones could never ruin his legacy. His legacy is already submitted. You can't take away what he's already accomplished. Okay, that's like Michael Jordan winning 6 NBA championships. Only an idiot would say he ruined his legacy by going to Washington and playing for 2 seasons. He averaged 22 points a game. 22 points a game. He became the oldest man to score over 40 points when he played for the Washington Wizards. Who cares if they even didn't go to the playoffs or whatever? Who cares? He could have lost for 8 years. The man won 6 NBA championships, countless MVPs. He was the face of basketball for I don't know how long and how consistent he was every night when he did play actively. So what if he came back and played 2 more years? You think that would diminish what this man has already accomplished? And the same thing with boxing. That's why I say it's hypocrisy, because when you look at Roberto Duran, okay, he peaked at lightweight. He was not made for middleweight. He did nothing at middleweight. Let's just get that out in the open right now. Roberto Duran basically was average at middleweight, but his true weight, it was lightweight. He was dominant, probably the best lightweight in history. And you know where they put him? In the Hall of Fame as one of the best fighters in the world. Why? Because he did not tarnish his enemies. Y'all probably don't even know. Roberto Duran has like 16 losses on his record. 16. But we're calling him a great because of what he accomplished already. Okay? You know, people fought him. When he fought Hagler, when he fought Hearns, you know, that wasn't the real Roberto Duran. You know, that's what I'm trying to let the people know. He's fighting out of his weight class. He just couldn't make the lower weights anymore. But he's always going to fight. So he's fighting guys that's 10 times his size that he shouldn't even be fighting. He's fighting way out of his weight class. But that was the only way you were going to get paid. Hagler never got any money. His entire career, he got screwed his entire career. He didn't start getting any big money until he beat Roberto Duran. He got $5 million for the Duran fight. So Duran, Hagler should understand when the Mayweather fight don't take place and all this shut up and fight stuff. You didn't shut up and fight when you did Tommy Hearns. You held out basically for money. You wanted more money so the fight could happen. Tommy and them, they pushed the fight back a little bit so they can help create a little bit more buzz so we can get some more, so they can get more money for the fight. Then you got what you wanted. Okay, so it's maybe it wasn't you personally, Hagler. Maybe it was your team, but that's what happened. But for this legacy thing, y'all need to quit it. If people already accomplished goals, Roy Jones is one of 2 human beings to legitimately, I don't count James Toney because he got stripped for the steroids. He's to only legitimately come from middleweight and win the heavyweight championship. Only one other human being has ever done that in over 100 years. So that is accomplished. That's a goal to be accomplished right there. Plus, he's the fighter of the decade in the 90s. There was no fighter dominant than Roy Jones Jr. Mike Tyson had it for a bit, let it go, but he was mostly 80s, late 80s. Once the heavyweight division was starting to lose all the older fighters, Tyson carried the torch for that new age. But y'all got to let go of this notion about legacy. Really, y'all are really blowing it out of proportion. Fighters do not fight for legacy. Fans do all this stuff with legacy. Like, your legacy, fighters do not think about a legacy when they are fighting. When they are fighting, they're thinking about money, security, family. Once down the road in their career, once they've accomplished a lot of goals, then they start saying, okay, well, my resume looks good, so when I retire, I know my legacy is going to be intact because of the things I've already accomplished. You see, that's when you think about it. It's a reflection of your past accomplishments, not basically your failures. Your legacy as a fighter was trash. You know, it's just like, come on, nobody's looking back at that. You know, I've never seen anybody, like, look at Mike Tyson. He went into the Hall of Fame and he bit up Vander Holyfield's ear. They could have said, man, you bit his ear, we ain't letting you back in, because he basically didn't have any success after that fight. He didn't have any success. All he had was losses and no contest after that fight. So his legacy was ruined once he got in the ring with Evander Holyfield. It was all downhill ever since. So this legacy talk, why is it still existing? Why do we still have to say a guy has to do such and such and such and such, and he can't lose, or if he's doing this, or he's ruining his right legacy? It's not ruining it if you've already accomplished it. So I just hope I put an end to this. I will answer the rest of your questions later, but you know what? Forget it. Since I've already got this video rolling, let's go through a couple of them right now. What do you think about Andre Berto? Andre Berto got off and got cleared because, you know, he signed with the money team. Let me explain to y'all a little bit of what's going on here. Y'all should already peep game, and I already should know that there's another group of people that meet, that controls the boxing game. Anybody think Bob Arum caused Bradley to lose? Bob Arum has power, but there's people above Bob Arum that runs this sport. Okay? And they sit, they're in Vegas. They sit in big old corporate buildings. And they have power and control, and they're nasty. And they're union based. Meaning that boxing won't have a union, but they control unions of casinos, and they own casinos. And these guys play nasty. You seen the movie Casino? Yeah. You know the hotel owner? Yeah, how he was the puppet and the mob was behind it? Sort of like how these guys are. They play nasty. Real nasty. And they could pull strings and make things happen. So trust me, when I tell you the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight will happen, and next year in April, I believe it's going to happen in April, believe that. This fight is happening next year, whether they want to do it or not. This fight will go down. One thing I don't underestimate, and that is the board, as I like to call them, in Las Vegas. Don't think they're restricted to just Las Vegas. UFC know all too well, and they know what I'm talking about. Next question. What do I think about? Victor Ortiz may be going with Freddie Roach. At this point, Victor Ortiz, he's already going to be the same fighter he is. Only thing Freddie Roach is going to add to him is a more notable name on his resume for, I guess, internet purposes and blow him up. But you, Victor Ortiz, you don't even need that. You've been in the ring with Floyd Mayweather. That already guarantees you a minimal purse of damn near $1 million. Seriously. That's what you guys don't really know, is that when you get in the ring with an upper echelon fighter, it boosts your stock and your asking price. Okay, it's just like the movie industry. If you do a movie and it generates a lot of money, it boosts your stock as how much you could ask for your next movies. So it boosts Victor Ortiz's stock. So he could demand $1 million for his next fight because of the numbers he done with Floyd Mayweather. See, that's another side of the business too of how it's ran. So he doesn't really need Freddie Roach. So now he's going to have to pay Freddie Roach basically for his representation. Freddie Roach is he's a businessman more than he is a trainer nowadays, and he's going to get paid just like having his name attached to Victor Ortiz. So if that's what Victor Ortiz wants, I really don't see like how he's going to come out making more money out of this. He should have just stayed with his previous management and trainer. But that's his career, his life. I'll see if I can squeeze another one in. We've covered this and we've covered that. You would love to see Lamont Peterson versus Andre Berto. Cheater versus cheater. You never see that. They both will be working basically for 50 Cent. He's not going to put them in the ring with each other, but what they're going to do is probably pin off against Golden Boy fighters. Mostly. And if they can't, then they'll go after top ranked fighters. I mean, it's just something else to see them guys reinstated like that, but that lets you know where the power lies. You know, Tarver gets fined for $2,500, you know, for steroid use. But if somebody like P Dirty or whatever, or headbutt somebody, they can get suspended just for saying something about a referee. You know, a year suspension. Like Juan Mar Lopez got to be out of the ring an entire year just because of what he said at the end of a fight when he was concussed. You know, it's stupid, really stupid. Let me see here. Why do I hate on? Oh, come on. Nobody even thinking about Pac-Man, really. Who cares? I mean, really. You really care about what I say about Manny Pacquiao, then don't listen. You know what I'm going to say about him. So why are you still listening? If you don't know by now, go click on some of my videos about Manny Pacquiao. And then come back and ask me, was I lying? That's what I'm saying. Go back in the past. Look at those videos I put about Manny Pacquiao. Didn't they come to fruition? Didn't I tell you about his taxes? Didn't I tell you he was a cheater? Didn't I tell you... I mean, he came out and admitted to all this. I was cheating. I was not faithful. Now, did I tell you he was a fake Catholic? Now I'm not Catholic. I'm not Christian, man. You know, did I tell you that? And I told you all of this when y'all was following him back then. And, it's the God gives him the power. God talked to him. So God talked to him twice. Why you keep choosing him? Why ain't talk to Boo Boy? He keeps talking to Pacquiao, but he ain't talking to Boo Boy. Okay. I get it. I guess that money was talking. But, moving right along. Let me see what they got here. Noshita. I mean, his name not Noshita. Noshika. No, Nishioka. That's his name, Nishioka. Okay, I knew I'd get it right sooner or later. Shut up. So, Nishioka is fighting Nonito Donaire, and he is the true super bantamweight champion. So, everybody wants Donaire to fight Rigondeaux. Well, this is the guy to beat. So whether you're Rigondeaux or Donier, if you don't beat this man standing right here in front of you, then it doesn't really mean anything, because he is truly the super bantamweight champion. Since 2004, he hasn't lost. He's been in this division for years, and this is his home to claim you're the best. So this goes to BoxRec too. If you want to say he's the best, don't crown his ass, beat his ass. So if you want to put Nonito ahead of him after 2 fights, that's an insult. I'm a big, gigantic Nonito Donaire fan, and I liked them back when you guys didn't even care to even watch him. Okay, when it was like 5 Filipinos in there with a flag rooting for him, you know, I was rooting for Nonito Donaire. So y'all didn't even want to talk about him. So for all these Pinoys, you know, don't come my way when I'm telling y'all the truth. Okay, there we go. Do I think Miss Jackson and Floyd Mayweather relationship is fake? I don't really judge it. To tell you the truth, I don't really judge it at all. I don't really care. To tell you the truth, I do not care about Miss Jackson and Floyd Mayweather's relationship. So why should you? I mean, really, if you want to get involved in it and get all TMZ about it, then I guess maybe that's for you. That's your style. For me, it just don't really do it for me. You know, I just don't care. You know, if she's there for him, that's good for him. You know, it's just other people's like relationship like that. Unless something happened, you know, then we could report on it. Like the thing with him and his baby mother and the case with the cops lying. It didn't take me to know that the cops was lying. You have to just know the system of the law to know that the cops was lying. Because if you've been in the hood and you've seen domestic violence cases left and right, you seen them come get the guy right then and there, throw him on the ground. You think, man, Vegas cops hate Floyd. They hate him with a passion. They want to see him in jail. They want to mess with him. Rather, you know, ruffle his cage. They get any snitch they can to try to deal with him. You know, and tell something on Floyd. And you ought to hear some of the stories people said about Floyd. It was just ridiculous. He's the biggest gangster in Las Vegas. It's like, get out of here, man. Nobody's buying that. But so anybody out there still listening to this video, that means you are truly, truly, truly blessed boxing heads who like to hear good information. Okay? And for that, if y'all play fantasy football, let me know, because I'm going to put this on YouTube as well as Boxing Socialist. We're going to have basically a fantasy football draft, and it's going to be my last season. I got out of fantasy football to really dedicate myself to boxing only, and I had to let cut go my love of fantasy football. And for those who didn't know, I was with fantasy football when it started in 2000. I was right there playing fantasy football when people was like hating it. They didn't have all these stats. You had to really search the internet. And I mean AOL. I was going through that. Okay, to get my stats, get my notes. I'm watching ESPN. I know the players. I know who's going in, who's not. So if we get enough players, which I think we should, you know, I'll do this and invite everybody to be in it, and just for fun, you know, we'll take people who really play. And if y'all really play and y'all want to do it, I'll start the league. I'll do my farewell to fantasy football with my boxing family. So I think that's the best way to do it. And another thing, too, yes, it's like 5 million Blog Talk radio shows. I mean, Rope-A-Dope Radio will always be my number one show because that's the show I came in with, and I'm very loyal. And that's where my loyalty lies. So I'm always going to listen to Rope-A-Dope first. Then I'm going to listen to everybody else's shows. And I can't be on everybody's show. I would love to be on a lot of shows, but that stops what I'm doing. Like right now, that would just kill everything I'm doing. So this is what I do. This is what I do, in my time. When I do listen to them, I sit back, listen to them for about 2 hours. While I'm like writing something up or typing, I get to listen to it, and you never know. You get information from these shows. So there's Inside the Ropes, On the Ropes, the Boxing Voice. You got the KO Lounge. You got Leave It in the Ring. You already know Rope-A-Dope Radio. You got the D-Source Sports over there at Hailstorm Sports. You got the Calic Sports Show. There are plenty of blog talk radio shows. Okay, some weeks I might miss one or two. I can't catch them all. Sometimes I catch them all. But if you know these shows, please go out there and subscribe to them. They're all informative. They're all good. Rope-A-Dope Radio is just still the best. In my opinion. So, I'm telling you, right now, that should be it. This is probably the longest video I made in a long time, fellas. That means I really care. Alright, y'all. Peace.